Words About Books, Ben.
It's Words About Books. It's a new year, and I think we're going to...
Season 7.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a different approach this year. I think we're going to start off the year.
We're going to have all of our heavy conversations off mic before we get into it.
Well, Words About Books, we get a little bit of a bad rap for being haters. And for
what?
Specifically taking cheap shots at children's media, and that time Scholastic threatened to sue us, and so we're not going to step into any controversies like that again. I think we'll just start the year with oh no, this is a Scholastic book, isn't it? Oh no, it's the sequel to the book they threatened to sue us over. And it's a beloved childhood classic that we hated.
Yeah.
And
we're starting the new year right.
Yeah. We're of course talking about Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins.
I prefer our title, Starving for Justice.
Hungry for Justice. Hunger Games 3, Hungry for Justice. Is what it should have been called. And at one point, they even reference Hungry for Justice in the propaganda in the book. And I'm like, the title was right there. You had it. But that's okay. She's got a branding issue, but that's okay. Mockingjay is also good. People know what it is. It's a bird of some sort.
It is better than Catching Fire.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that the settlement caught on fire.
Yeah.
Too soon?
The rebellion caught on fire, I guess.
I mean, we didn't know it was there for most of the book, but
yeah.
So
in fact, we were actively told you can't start a rebellion. It's impossible, you dumb idiot.
Oh, don't worry. There's a secret
at the end of the book,
13th district that nobody ever talked about that has an army and nukes, and they're all ready to go. Now, I'm going to ask you a question right up front. We've read the book. It's an old, but this book is almost like 16 years old or something at this point. I don't know.
No way. No way.
Look it up.
Hold on. No way. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Older than you thought you were?
Fucking jeez. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 16 years old.
To be fair to you, I think the book came out the same year the first movie came out.
Yeah, I read it. I read the first Hunger Games probably 2 years after the final book came out. I remember starting to read the second book and just being like, I like the first book. Second book, not great.
No, the first book was fine. The second book wasn't great. And the third book was... I guess this is my question right off the top. So, no full spoilers, I guess. It's 16 years old, older than most people were when they read it. So, if Katniss had just done nothing, everything would have been better. Right?
Or largely unchanged.
No.
Yeah.
What's her name? Prim would still be alive.
No, she would have probably died in the Hunger Games.
No. I mean, if Katniss did nothing in Mockingjay.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the entire series.
If she just filmed some promos.
If she would have just filmed some promos and took a nap,
everything would have been so much better for everyone. Right? Am I reading this situation correctly?
Her sister would have survived.
There'd be no incentive to kill Prim.
What about Peeta, Ben? He wouldn't have been rescued, potentially.
Why not?
Or if they did, he would have been executed because calling for a ceasefire is tantamount to treason, don't you know?
Yeah, I never quite got that one.
No, I also...
He should be cheering for the rebels he didn't know existed. No, okay. Well,
no, it makes no sense that calling for a ceasefire would be like, well, then we'll just go back to the way things were. And it's like, no, what?
Let's pretend.
I own all your land.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
talk about all the military
We'll
stuff
get
that's
into
wrong.
that.
But
Well, I definitely want to get into book 2, but let's finish
so
your thought
assume she
exercise.
stopped doing things. Okay, really, just assume she doesn't go out with the army because she has no training. The only weapon she knows how to use is a stupid bow and arrow. And she's not very good at it, to be honest. Everything she did, her whole mission to assassinate Snow was really stupid and it didn't work and it got Prim killed. That's like all she does for like the last third of the book.
Hey. Not only did she get Prim killed, but she got a lot of other people killed too. Some of them even had names, Ben.
Some of them even had names.
The 2 people who had the same exact name and they were sisters. You got Trident guy.
Oh, I forgot. I kind of liked him. Yeah, he just got married and she got him killed too.
Exactly. Why did he go out? He just got married and they conceived a child.
Right.
And then he's like, I'm going out.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Military me up.
I'm going
buddy.
out and I'm going out with Katniss, the suicidal one. The suicidally unstable teen girl who keeps talking about how she's going to kill herself all the time.
I think for the most part she thinks that, but she has mentioned it a few times.
Dude, every time she talks, it's fucking miserable. Every time she does anything, it's miserable.
Yeah.
Like, who is sitting there like, okay, Katniss Everdeen comes to you. We're in a real ass war with nuclear weapons and all kinds of weapons of mass destruction, bioweapons, air support, all this stuff. And Katniss Everdeen is like,
poison gas.
I'm going to take a bow. It's a sci-fi bow that has exploding tipped arrows. That's Hawkeye.
And fire arrows.
Yeah, I'm going to take my fancy sci-fi bow.
Arrows.
And I'm going to walk up to President Snow's house that he's definitely still in for some reason. And I'm going to shoot him with this arrow. I don't think I have any way to get past any kind of heavy weaponry. That. I don't know how we're getting into the city.
I have a bow.
I'll have to lie to a bunch of people on the way there. I accidentally get declared dead.
I've got a bow.
Well, it's okay because Gail's with me and he also has a bow.
And a dream.
And Peta's with me and he has...
an emotionally unstable Peta.
Well, yeah, and he has one leg. Remember that?
I thought we fixed that.
He's got a fake leg.
Perfect.
Hope that doesn't break. Or need charged, or however it works. They got a USB-C port in the Capitol?
Probably everywhere. It is the capital.
It's not some like weird divide like where half the country uses like 50 hertz.
It's a USB. It's a USB-D.
It's a USB-D.
It's the next level, Ben.
I can't. That was the thing that got me. Is Katniss's
just a
actions
miserable slog?
Well, no, I thought. Katniss.
Oh, the whole. She could have just stayed home and.
I thought Katniss was going to lead a revolution. That's what I thought was going to happen. And that's not what happened.
Well, why would you think that? The end of the second book was, hey, by the way, there was a revolution and, you're in it now.
Yeah, no, the revolution happens entirely...
And she clawed off Hamish's face.
The revolution happens entirely off screen. And then at the end, she shoots Coin, plot twist.
Whoa. Spoiler.
And then Coin's vice president takes over and presumably continues her agenda. So I don't...
No, they had a new election.
Oh, okay.
And they elected someone else. The commanding officer from district whatever. When the air raid happened, she was the commanding officer in that hospital that burned down.
What?
And she's now the president. And
do we know
presumably
her?
She has a different agenda.
Were we rooting for her? Do you even know her name?
No. All I remember is that she let Katniss in to see Snow. And that's when Snow spilled the beans that it was Coin all along.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so then also...
I struggle with the names too.
No, I don't even know. I don't even remember that character.
That's fine. Well, she's the president now. I would love to go back to a day when we don't remember our presidents.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Get me a Polk or a Zachary Zachary Taylor. I
Taylor.
want to
Yeah.
say,
Didn't he
yeah.
die pretty quick?
I don't know, and that's
I
the
don't know, and
point.
that's the point. Yeah. So, I Katniss doesn't do anything. She makes it worse, and then at the end, oh, and Peter gets amnesia. That's dumb as shit. And then at the end,
my friend who actually finished this series at the time said it would be like if Luke turned around and shot Mon Mothma in the face.
yeah.
And then the Emperor just happened to die himself anyway.
Well, they're building it up.
Snow Snow seemed like he was on death's door anyway. He laughs and then he chokes on blood and dies.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're building it up like Katniss is gonna do something, and she doesn't do anything. And so at the end, okay, Peeta gets like crippling amnesia. I know he doesn't technically have amnesia. He was hijacked. He was MK Ultra'd by the Capitol using Tracker Jacker venom.
They missed the perfect opportunity. Tracker Jacker venom. They jacked him off, Ben. It was right there.
So Peeta. So Peeta got jacked. Peeta got jacked, and by using hallucinogenic Tracker Jacker venom, and this is the phrase hallucinogenic Tracker Jacker venom is juxtaposed with like some cripplingly realistic depiction of like clinical depression, and he comes back and he's been MK Ultra brainwashed to think that Katniss doesn't like him, and so now we can reset the tension in the love triangle for the world's like least sexy love triangle.
It's a pretty one-sided one too.
It's pretty one-sided. Gale not really standing a chance here, and also like, I'm sorry, Katniss is asexual. Katniss does not have a romantic or a maybe they do interrupt the story dead sometimes to remind you she kind of has a sex drive, like she responds to touch, but she doesn't seem interested in a relationship at all. Never has. Totally fine, by the way. Fine with that. But it's so weird to force a love triangle on that character who doesn't seem like she wants to be with anyone, barely wants to be alive. And then at the end, she's fucked everything up. She did nothing. The whole reason any of this started was to save Prim. Prim's fucking dead, and it's her fault. And she's banished back. So they convict her. She kills the president. They convict her.
High treason. Your sentence is exile.
Well, they find her insane, which she is, and then they sentence her to go to District 13, where she proceeds to sit and stare at a wall without bathing.
12
or whatever.
12.
She goes back to West Virginia. She goes back to West Virginia, and
she goes back into her house, which is the only block of that town that wasn't burned to ash.
They send her back with Haymitch, who immediately starts drinking again and presumably drinks himself to death. He just kind of fades out of the story.
I've got this.
He doesn't.
I'm going to provide you emotional support.
He doesn't make any effort to take care of her at all.
Love you.
She stares at a wall, does not bathe or sleep, and barely eats. Only eats at the insistence of this one kindly old woman who I also don't remember.
Greasy Say.
I do. You know what? I do kind of remember Greasy Say.
Yeah, she was in the black market.
Okay,
and then
Greasy Say gets
blown up.
I like Greasy Say, and so Greasy Say is doing her best to keep Katniss alive, which seems cruel at this point, because she's never going to get better. And then,
well, sorry, there's no law for assisted suicide or anything.
You just
like
don't
that.
show up.
Yeah, too bad.
Katniss is content.
We're pumping you full of nutrients. We're keeping you alive.
No, Katniss is content to just lay down and die, literally. And then eventually
Maybe we need to
Petus shows
shoot her
back
full of
up.
Tracker Jacker venom,
Petus
Ben.
shows back up and is like, "Hey, I brought some primroses to bury next to your sister or whatever." And Katniss is like, "Her name was Primrose. I remember."
Yeah.
Oh, the pain. And then Peeta somehow talks her into getting married or something. They have 2 kids that she's equally kind of like lukewarm on.
I don't know if that was the read or if Suzanne Collins just didn't want to name the kids.
No, I mean, she
Yeah, look, one of them is Albus Severus, okay? The
you're Effie Hamich and you're
there you go.
no, so she has these 2 kids, right? And she wants to like them. That's the vibe I got, is like, I want to like my family. I don't know if I'm capable of feeling feelings anymore, but we're all just going to keep living because nobody will let me die, and maybe one day I'll mean it. And that's the end of the book. That's the epic series I've been hearing so much about for the last, checks notes, 20 years. Yeah, it's like the worst ending you could imagine, kind of.
Now we need the sequel trilogy.
We do, except it's a prequel trilogy.
Well, okay, we'll do the prequels first, then we need a sequel trilogy where nothing has changed.
So I
and we
heard
need
the
a new
first
set of
book
heroes.
is about snow, which I don't give a shit. Snow is
No, it's not.
isn't it not?
Nope. I disagree. The first
No,
book?
no. I mean, in the prequel series.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
That's about Snow.
So that's about Snow.
And his rise to power and
then the second book, we get to watch Haymitch's Hunger Games.
Why?
I don't know.
I know how it happened.
Because he just drinks himself to death. Who cares? I'm so confused.
I did not realize that the second book was about Haymitch. I thought all 3 were about Snow.
Well, I think Snow, Snow was obviously there. So it may just be like during Haymitch's Hunger Games, but with still a heavy focus on Snow. I don't know why we care about Snow. Like, I know that Donald Sutherland is a great actor and he played Snow in the movies and he made Snow a very interesting character in the movies, but in the books, no.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No, I agree.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't make any sense.
No, no, he does make sense, Ben. Here's. I'm glad we got around to this. All right, so let me just lay it out. So the first book did a lot of things right, where the Capitol and Snow, they're like clearly the existential threat, but Cato is the thing that needs to be overcome. He's the physical threat. And they didn't really do that in later books. It seemed like in the second book they were setting up the security guy to be the big threat, and then they're like, just kidding, second Hunger Games, and we never see or hear from that guy. Wasn't even in this book, Ben.
Who?
I looked it up on the wiki. The chief security guy who whipped Gale almost to death. He doesn't even make an appearance in this book.
Yeah,
he's just gone forever.
He died in the firebombing.
They didn't even warn him. They just killed him. They just okay. I mean, that leads into my other thing, Ben. Actually, perfect. So we were asking a lot of questions last book.
Yeah, that was
about,
a waste.
Like, do they even need this coal? If they need this coal, why aren't they just mining it with robots? Like, why have all these people here to mine your coal? Why have all these people here to mine your garments if you're just going to destroy all the infrastructure that makes those things? And then we ask questions like what is Snow doing? Because we only see it from Katniss's perspective. Katniss is like, all right, Snow doesn't want to kill me because I'd be a martyr. He wants me to kind of like calm the crowd down. But then he hands her a live mic and she doesn't calm the crowd down. And then she's like, okay, he just wants to like marginalize me, keep me out of the public eye. But then he calls a new Hunger Game with her in it. And it's like, oh, so he is going to kill you and he's going to do it as publicly as possible. And also the crowd is going to be really bummed out because we're going to kill a bunch of tributes they all like.
Yeah.
And so we're like, why is Snow doing all this? And this book, it makes me realize we weren't asking the right questions, Ben.
What question should we
The
have been
correct
asking?
question is, when we had this war initially, when like the original war, like the United States fell, Panem sprung up, we
Civil War
destroyed our
II,
environment.
the big one.
Yeah, there you go. We destroyed the planet.
Hell yeah.
And then Panem sprung up. What like elder god did we unleash? What elder god that feeds upon suffering and pain? Because that seems to be the Capitol's whole
Oh,
thing.
so
It's
you're
not about the coal.
yeah,
It's
you're
about the suffering.
yeah, it's a sacrifice to Asmodeus, destroyer of men. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't need that coal. But coal miner's lung, mine collapses, that breeds tragedy, and that feeds the elder god.
So
That's why we don't want to use robots, because robots can't feel pain and suffering the way humans can feel pain and suffering. And that's why we allow you to continue to exist in squalor. We don't want you to all just die. We don't want to just like, all right, everyone gets poison gas to death or whatever. We don't want that. We want to keep you around to do slave labor for generations, 75 years. And we want you to suffer. And every year, we're going to take 2 of your kids and we're going to kill them on TV. And then 6 months from now, the guy responsible for killing them, or at least for winning that Hunger Game, is going to go on a tour of your shitty little shack towns and talk about how great he is at killing other kids. We want you to suffer.
so
That is what the Capitol does. It's all about just like, how can we get the most evil and most human suffering out of every decision?
okay, so I did a little independent survey. I know a lot of people who have read the Hunger Games. I asked in our Discord, I reached out to a couple of friends, and I was surprised that I got universally the same answers.
And I disagreed with these, but go on.
I asked, what is the Hunger Games trilogy? What is the theme of the Hunger Games trilogy?
The trilogy, not the first book.
I asked for the trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would argue that the trilogy, besides doing the most cruelty possible, there's not really some unifying theme. Because at least one of the books in the trilogy will drop the theme.
So I asked, what's the theme? And everybody without fail said that the theme of the Hunger Games trilogy is wealth inequality. And for the first book, 100% on board with that.
Oh yeah, first book, and there's some of that in the second book.
Some of that in the second book, yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely. Now, one of the things, I think there may be a little bit of a Lord of the Rings situation going on. I haven't actually watched all the movies. I've only seen the first one. And my understanding in the movies, I was told that events play out maybe a little different. Like some of the stuff that was not happening on the page, that was happening behind the scenes, is shown in the movies. Like in the first movie, I do remember when Prue dies.
When she dies, yeah.
There's a revolt, and we're only told that happened in the book, but we get to see it in the movies. So I think maybe some of that helps massage what's lacking in the book, because it really seems like all the important stuff after the first book, we're only told about in passing.
Yeah.
Katniss is not present for almost everything that matters.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I think some people might be remembering the movie when I asked that question, which is fine because I didn't really specify the books, like book only. And it's probably been so long since most people have read it that.
And yeah, and they might also have that how I remembered a lot of things from the Lord of the Rings books, that
where there's
those crumbs on his fucking jacket.
Yeah, there's this really beloved adaptation that has sort of replaced some of the memory. There could be a little bit of that going on. I don't want to insult people though and say that they're not remembering. But I do.
I
I think that's part of
I
it,
just a little bit, you know.
or that the movie just helped the book make sense, maybe, because I do think Suzanne Collins also adapted the screenplay herself, so that adds a little bit of canonicity to the movies. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really care about that.
Yeah, Tolkien really should have helped out with Peter Jackson's.
Yeah, it was his fault for being dead for decades. Um, yeah. So I get that. So in the first movie, you've got the have-nots, District 12, and then the Capitol, where they're crazy hair, weird
The
makeup and fashion,
vomitorium.
vomitorium. Everybody's got a Roman name. They're decadent and imperial, and they're waving it all in your face. It's kind of unclear why the methods are so brutal. I think it's just one of those things where you're meant to like yada yada late stage
We need
capitalism yada yada.
we need a clear villain,
Well,
and
it's
we need you
yeah, we
to
need a clear
yeah.
villain, and it but it's not clear why it's profitable for the capital to treat.
Well, as we learn later, we need to fulfill our quota of suffering, or our elder god will get mad at us, and we can't risk that anymore.
I
So we've
guess
got to get a certain amount of human suffering.
it kind of begs the question a little bit, but I'm guessing the implication you're supposed to take from looking at the real world and just extrapolating is that if things were a little bit nicer in the districts, then the capital would be a little bit less rich. It's not clear to me how that's the case, because it really does seem to me like the capital could have automated these people out of a job or bioengineered
Yeah,
these people out of a job. They can create like werewolves and avoxes and mockingjays and all this crazy shit, but they can't
yeah.
create something that lives to mine coal without all these pesky human emotions. I don't know. That would be like the first thing I would do, but maybe I'm weird.
Yeah, again, we need suffering.
Yeah, it
Animals
doesn't.
don't suffer quite the same way as human
The
beings.
coal doesn't burn as good if it wasn't like mined from a child dying of the black lung.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
And we gotta hope that the child has a family who is mourning them, so we get that extra, just that mwah, that like that cherry on top.
so second book, I think you could still argue wealth inequality, because you're
The
starting to
second book's problem wasn't the themes; it was the fact that it was two books
it's
stitched
2 books.
together and neither had a resolution.
Hunger Games 2, hungrier. Yeah, so but there's still like the plot that's unfolding is there's kind of like general strikes starting to happen, open rebellion, and you're kind of waiting to see like, oh, okay, so the capital, like maybe this is some sort of like communist socialist labor theme where the workers are going to rise up, seize the means of production from the capital, cut the capital off from the fruits of their labor, and that's how this nation will
Hmm.
crumble.
Hmm.
uh and then you get to the end of book 2, and really nothing any of the districts did mattered, because there was a secret nuclear power that had an
Yeah,
army ready to go that was just waiting for things to be a little bit chaotic enough, and had kind of been manipulating everything from the shadows. They had spies in the capital, they had plants in every district, and they were fomenting rebellion and doing all this stuff. So yeah, it didn't really matter. It was all District 13 all along. They had a plan to take out the capital, and it's a good plan because it works in about like 3 months. They take out the capital.
yeah. This is a very short war.
Not even hard. Like, I'm gonna be real. The movies, the movie trailers that I saw made the rebellion look a lot harder than it was. Because yeah,
Yeah, we start this book. We're already gaining ground, like most of the districts.
yeah, and it's unclear to me. So Katniss, in book 3, she's become a symbol of the rebellion, which makes sense. She's a her initial.
I'll be your Mockingjay coin.
It's a little dramatic, but
Please stop calling it that in public. It's weird.
but she's not a like a Chavez. She's not a Mao. She's not a Lenin. She's
Yeah, she's more like a Rin. But
I
maybe
can't think of a modern day analogy for her that exists, like that isn't a fictional character.
well, let's see.
Because Rin is sort of Rin, yeah. Katniss is a mascot. She is the Mockingjay. She's
There you go. She is the sickle and the hammer.
yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, even if you go to like Joan of Arc or something like that, she's like Joan of Arc still won battles, you know? Katniss competed in the Hunger Games. She's obviously capable of violence. I'm not trying to take that away from her, but warfare, revolution, these are not things Katniss is particularly interested in. Katniss's goal was to save Prim. And I can't stress this enough. Failed.
Well, at the start of this book, mission accomplished. She's
Yeah.
she's in District 13 in an underground bunker. We did it.
And all they want her to do is film promo videos and like film propaganda. And maybe like, I'm trying to think, is there any like modern army that is used? There's got to be an example. I'm trying to think, and all I could come up of like just some person who's like the nation's hope. Like, I don't
know. Modern? I can't think of a modern.
Can you think of a classical?
Oh God, who was the this? I don't know why this is the guy that came to mind. King Charles the 12th of Sweden.
But he was a king.
He was a king. He led from the front, and in fact got shot on the front, and then Sweden stopped doing so well.
So that's my thing. Like, I can think of martyrs. Like, I can think of
Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc. But I was going to say, like, I can think of, say, like I'm really sorry, this is the first example that's coming to my mind, but like a George Floyd. Somebody who was whose like death encapsulated just everything that was wrong with the system and kicked off a bunch of protests and became a symbol of that. But Katniss doesn't die. Like, Katniss is out there filming propaganda and all this stuff. And it seems like they want people to think that Katniss is literally like on the front lines, fighting this fight.
Yeah.
Running this rebellion.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know the first thing about that and doesn't care and hates all of you. That's the reality. If I had to come up with a theme for the Hunger Games, I thought about this after I asked everybody the question. I think the only theme for me that remains consistent throughout the books is like problematic celebrity culture, like parasocial relationships, influencer culture, the toxicity of all that stuff, because that's what Katniss is.
But this came out before that was so widespread.
No, well, but the first Hunger Games is a reality TV show.
Oh, yeah. Hogan knows best.
Katniss is very much a reality TV star.
Katniss knows best.
She becomes a popular celebrity.
Brother.
And then she becomes...
You see what she's wearing? I don't want her dating boys, brother.
Right. People are always talking about her outfit. But no, Katniss, literally, people are always talking about her outfit, her look. She has to be shaved and bathed and prettied up. And everywhere she goes, it's all about her appearance and everything. It's not really about her inner thoughts, which are, I hate all of you and I want to die. And she's just a symbol. She's not a person. And in that sense, I think she is like celebrity culture. And the problem, but they don't examine, like, the where my theory falls apart is then they don't really examine
Yeah, no, that
that.
symbol is actually, it's a good thing. That's
Well, I guess,
we
is
she
it?
was on the front lines.
It's obviously not
She
a good
was on the
thing.
front lines. She got us to victory. She was there when all those children got blown up, Ben.
She was,
And that's when we seized President Snow.
and I blew
She
him up
was
to prove a point
there.
to her. She's actually the reason I
Yeah.
blew him up.
Yeah, and then she shot President Coin in front of ex-President Snow, who then also died. Where were you when the clock struck 9/11?
I was in my 8th grade English class. No, I think the celeb thing, there's something to that, because no one should give a shit what Katniss thinks about the war. Really.
But what does she think, Ben?
I mean, personally, she doesn't care about it. She has personal grudges with, like, Snow and Coin. But and I think she would like to end the Hunger Games, though she votes to continue them, and I don't fully understand that. And I'm sure there was something.
I think that was to get Coin to trust her enough. And get on, so Coin would be like, my plan that killed your sister went off without a hitch, and now you're on my side.
Yeah, I guess that's the only thing I can think of, though. Coin could have also just, like, stood out of range if she was really concerned about that.
No.
But yeah, like, they're afraid Katniss is going to make some kind of power play or something, and she should have. But another theme I heard people mention, like a secondary theme, is survival. And, like, what are people willing to do to survive?
Maybe in the first one, maybe in the in the second one, she's prepared to die to keep Peeta alive. And the third one, all she wants to do is die after she kills Snow.
And yeah, there's I can see it. I could see survival as a theme if it's about, like, what can a person survive. Because Katniss is, I guess, at the end, I pick on it because it's such a. I'll save my feelings, but I can see how the ending is Katniss trying to heal. She's trying to survive this last bit of trauma. Oh, by the way, her mom goes back to abandoning her too. Forgot about that.
Yeah, so what you do when you want to survive trauma, have some kids. Same thing, if you have a marriage that's falling apart, kids will patch that right up.
That really is what happens. She gets married, and then Peeta insists on having 2 children. And she describes the pregnancies, and she's not super into it, and it's actually kind of weird. Kind of makes you question Peeta a little. But a lot of things. Look, I guess
I've got no family, and can you make me some?
I asked my sister, and she was Team Gale.
That's weird.
She said she didn't give a shit what Tracker Jack or venom they injected into Peeta. You crush my neck, you're done.
Unless
what my sister
you ask
said.
for it and you're into it, okay?
No, my sister said.
We gotta have a safe word, though. If I say banana, you gotta let go.
My sister said, you crush my throat, we're done. And I was like, I can't argue with that.
The capital jacked him off.
My sister did not find that a compelling argument.
Now, I'm on team neither of these guys.
That's my thing.
Gale is not better. Gale is his own bag of shit. He's just a different flavor of shit.
Gale, I don't know.
And you're always just gonna blame me for making the bombs that murdered your sister.
Yeah.
Katniss, let me ask you a question. Where were you when the clock struck 9/11?
I thought it was so very, very cheesy. Because this is the other thing. People are going to say that the Hunger Games really describes war and the horrors and the trauma and everything. And everything
Wrong again.
So well. It's like it's a real bummer in Katniss's head. I'll give you that. It describes misery quite vividly. It describes some symptoms of PTSD quite vividly.
There wasn't enough numbing out for me to feel like this was an accurate depiction.
Well, that's kind of my thing. Yeah, and I know Scholastic is obviously going to limit. You're not going to get a realistic depiction of war from Scholastic for a young adult audience. And that's probably the right call. But if you go out there and you read books about the Holocaust or the rape of Nanking or Hiroshima or, any of these like horrible atrocities, and the people that survived them and their mental states and things like that, I don't know. There's something about the Hunger Games that's just not ringing true to me, and that's really not a fair comparison.
I had that issue a lot when she was describing, and when they went to shoot that gas can and the gas can exploded like a video game.
That was funny.
That was a small detail, but I was like, okay, all right.
Mythbusters hadn't done the episode yet.
It sounds pretty obvious though, right? No, it wasn't one of my major gripes.
The main defense for the book, I know, is going to be, well, it accurately portrayed a certain kind of trauma, and I don't really think I don't think that
portrays misery.
Yeah. I don't think
she doesn't strike me as a war vet. I've worked with war vets before.
Yeah. Yeah, she just it doesn't read right. And there's also, if that is the theme, then I kind of don't love the way she blows off the psychologist and he lets her blow him off. Like, Katniss is on a treatment plan, actually, in the book.
First treatment plan, you got to answer my phone calls because you've been dodging them for months.
Yeah, it's been a year.
This is court ordered psychotherapy and I presume medication. So
yeah, and so that's kind of my thing about like the healing is it doesn't accurately show how to heal. Marrying PETA and having 2 kids without actually doing your treatment plan is not how you heal.
Well, she didn't heal. It's not a story about healing. It's a story about suffering.
Well, that's where I say, like, so then it kind of...
Chernabog is here for that, or whatever god we're talking about.
So it kind of gets into, if it's about survival, that's still a weird way to end it.
You just get through one day at a time,
and also,
one child at a time.
For a book where I jumped right to the end and started talking about all this stuff because nothing happens.
What? There was all kinds of stuff, Ben.
PETA meets up with Beatty and they together discover cruelty.
No, Gale.
Gale meets up with Gale. PETA bakes a cake.
They discover
Gale introduces this military machine to the concept of war crimes. It's like, have you ever thought about bombing the hospitals? Because that's where the weak people go.
Well, that's what the enemy does.
Have you ever
We're
thought
going
about,
to instead bury them all alive inside of a mountain.
Have you ever thought about putting the enemy's flag on your ship and bombing it so it looks like the enemy's bombing the hospitals? We call
no one has ever thought about that.
A quote unquote false flag operation. Like, I don't know. It's that part was cheesy in YA. Like, oh yeah, obviously Gale, redneck hunter from the hills of West Virginia, is going to be teaching people about war because he's got that main character energy, right?
He's got those traps. He's like, why don't we have a trap? Why don't we just build these traps for people?
War is like hunting, or it used to be 2,000 years ago. But now we have nukes.
How hard could it be?
Not very if Gale's on top of it. Yeah. And there's other stuff about how, like, I think there's a weird theme going on of the District 13 is in many ways the opposite of the capital. So the capital is this hyper capitalist, decadent, wealth disparity machine. And District 13 is an ultra utilitarian, equalized, almost socialist communist thing where, like, all waste is penalized. Everybody has the exact same shit. People react insanely to anyone who has more or fun or anything like that. And I think she's kind of trying to, like, both sides this a little bit, and
Yeah, it was really weird.
that's why Katniss can choose neither side. That's why she has to kill both Coin and let Snow choke on his own laughter, which is how I want to die, by the way. I didn't know, like,
Oh, I want to die by Snoo Snoo.
well, I was going to say peacefully in my sleep until I read this book. And then I was like, no, laughing at my enemies would be a good way. Just choking on my own laughter. That would be a way to go. Because I have those enemies. They're probably in the comments. And did it feel like she just rushed the end?
Yes.
It was a lot of Katniss walking around districts, filming promos she didn't want to film, giving one speech of her own thoughts, and then promptly being shot in the back by the very people she was trying to save.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she never tries that again.
Nope. Then she enlists in the military. She trains real quick, as you do. She has an entire shonen manga training sequence for the military where she
has to keep the chakra in her
overcomes.
feet to stick to the trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got to learn how to take orders. And then
she
she's
learns
sent
how
to the
to
front
pretend
line
to take orders.
Yeah. She's sent to the front line and go get him.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets everybody with any joy in their life.
Now I think about, why don't we just paratroop people? We've got cloaked hovercrafts. The capital has none anymore.
Nate,
why do we have to go street by street disabling these magic techno traps?
They didn't.
Let's just drop people in.
They didn't. She didn't follow orders. They won the war while she was unconscious. Nothing she did mattered. It was probably busy work.
That is true. What's his nuts died. He's like, I want you to take my map so you could go kill Snow. And then he died. And she was like, all right, I'm going to kill Snow. And she lies about having orders to kill Snow. And then they don't kill Snow. And then the war ends.
No, the only thing that happens is Prim gets dropped in, blown up, while Katniss watches. Katniss has got 3rd-degree burns over her entire body. And she has to get put back together for the 4th or 5th time, and wakes up, and we have that scene where she again. This is something Suzanne Collins really felt so passionate about. She does it in literally every book. Katniss gets exploded or something, and her body gets put back together by these weird techniques, and it's like a little bit less hers every time. And that's also a theme that goes nowhere and is unexamined. And she wakes up, and she's like, she goes and she talks to Snow, and Snow's like, hey, I'm just an idiot. I'm just a guy who lost a war, okay?
I was told that Chernobog needed suffering, and I never once questioned if that was true. My bad.
I'm just a dude who's not very good at wars. I was a peacetime president.
I was about to surrender when all those children got blown up.
I was
It's
literally
my bad.
this close to surrendering. Yeah, if you know me, Katniss, I'm a survivor. That's one of the themes of the book. And I thought,
If I had a working hovercraft,
Yeah.
I wouldn't use it to blow up my own child shields. I would get on it and run away.
yeah. And Katniss is like, no, that can't be true. That's impossible. That's probably true. God damn it. And then Coin's like, I'm going to let you execute Snow. And Katniss is like, oh, don't you worry. I want another Hunger Games. JK shoots in face.
Don't you worry, I will execute a president today. Ha 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 ha.
I really don't think killing Coin did much. I don't think that.
It replaced Coin with starts with a P. It's not Plutarch.
Yeah, that character I've established, I don't remember.
Hold on. Let me just look at my notes. Let's see. This is a photo of Finnick. Oh, that's his name. Finnick and Annie's newborn son. I don't know why Finnick went back to the front lines. Sounds like he had a choice. He made a bad one.
Because if you're miserable, you're feeling something. And if you're feeling something, then you think I'm a good writer. It's the kick the puppy thing I've brought up on previous episodes. If I tell you a story about a little girl who was abandoned as a child, who finds an abandoned puppy and they become the best of friends, and then that puppy is struck by a car, and then while the girl is mourning the puppy, she is also struck by a car. That's sad. And you're just going to feel sad.
And then we fast forward to the courtroom trial where that person gets off because he's rich.
And it's like, I can make you feel something. It doesn't mean I'm a good writer. Like, it's exploitation. I'm exploiting universal points of, like, universal fears and pain. And I don't know. And that's kind of where, like, I hate to say it, but I feel like
Paylor. Commander Paylor, Ben.
That doesn't even ring a bell.
There's a thing on Reddit that says I thought that Paylor seemed really apt to be the new president.
What?
Huh? What?
What? Okay, definitely that's a character that was introduced in this book, right? As was Coin.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. No. Maybe in the movies they establish her earlier on, and there's a little bit of like, oh, she might make a good president. Like, you see her make some decisions that are, human. But no, in the book, no. I'm sorry. No. It's a stone cold bummer. And usually you accuse me of being the one who enjoys stone cold bummers. And I'm going to tell you, for me, this started wandering into edgelord territory.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. You were mentioning that, and I was like, you know what? You're right. This seems
it's just wallowing in misery, and it can't get better, and in fact has to get worse, because I think deep down somebody thinks this looks cool. Like Katniss has to be a brooding wreck to be interesting. Katniss can't be happy because preps are happy. That's what it feels like. I don't know.
Yeah. That checks out. Fucking preps.
And it was 2010, so it was about the right time to be worried about preps. Actually, that might even be too late. But
Suzanne
Collins
would be
is pretty
too
old
late,
though, so she probably knew. She probably knew. She was there for the great goth prep wars of 06.
Do we even want to do a summary, Ben? Do you want?
Did we do? Do we have? Is there anything I didn't discuss that you think is necessary?
Yeah, they bombed a hospital, Ben. And Gale and Katniss have a lot of thoughts about like
I think I discussed
how
that.
we can structure this hospital.
Okay,
How can
okay.
we structure
Paint me a picture of the hospital scene. This was very important to you as a medical professional.
So they go into the hospital and everyone is just like dirty and dingy. It's set up in like a warehouse or something. Everyone wants to touch her as if they're plague victims or
She's Jesus.
she's Jesus, and they are suffering from leprosy,
Yes.
and they want to touch her. And Gail's like, "Wow, what the hell are you really going to put all your people in this hospital?" And Paylor, you know Paylor, next president of, of Panem, that Paylor, she's like, as a matter of fact, we are, because we don't have any other space.
Ronald Reagan, the actor?
and yeah, they're like, man, this is dingy. Like a disease will just spread right through this. I'm 17, and even I know that. But don't worry, disease will never spread through this hospital, Ben. Nothing is going to make it out of this hospital alive.
We have a particular way of sterilizing things that works pretty well.
The Capitol shows up, and they start bombing, and one of the things they decide to bomb is the hospital.
Well, also, it's like a field hospital, right?
It's like a giant warehouse field hospital.
Yeah, like it's a tent in a parking lot because the hospital's gone.
I thought it was a warehouse.
Okay, whatever. It's a makeshift hospital though, because there's a ton of wounded. It wouldn't be a tent
because the whole thing collapses on itself and buries people in rubble.
But the point is, there's no better facilities.
Yeah,
it's not like
I'm 17 and I think I know better.
This is a prime location for a hospital. I founded this. This is the Pelor Memorial Hospital. No, Gail, you fucking hick. This is the only place I could put them. Please keep in mind each of these people speaks with a thick West Virginia accent.
What's the thing? The comic book in the old gas can alley, I think. Is that hold on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Gasoline Alley, right? Yeah.
No, I'm just a simple country boy out there from the holler, y'all, but y'all be keeping your sick people in here like this? I don't know.
Wow, I actually think that's not even the right comic strip. But yeah, Ben, I forgot about that.
Don't show my grandma this episode. She's from West Virginia.
Well, I'm pretty sure... Wait, your grandma's not dead?
No. You say this every time I mention her.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you have another grandma who is in fact
she
dead.
Is dead, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't talk about that one.
Yeah, you mentioned... I remember that.
We don't get along. I mean, she's dead, but we didn't get along.
Yeah. No, I remember how the story went.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's Barney, Google, and Snuffy Smith, Ben.
What? Okay. I don't know what point you're trying to make.
I don't know either. All right. So the hospital gets bombed, and then Katniss gives a speech, Ben. And then we go to District 2.
That's the speech where she gets shot.
That's the speech where she gets shot, yeah. Gale is like, how about instead of storming the mountain, let's just cause an avalanche and bury everyone inside the mountain fortress. And then we'll just camp out at the train station that goes in and out of the mountain. And I guess slaughter everyone who comes out. Like we're not gonna give them a ceasefire or like a surrender or come out without weapons and we won't butcher you. We're just gonna hope for the best. And that's when Katniss is like, they're using us to kill us, but I won't kill them anymore. Oh, you shot me. God damn it, I didn't think I would get shot.
Fucking kill him.
Get him. Get him.
Get him, Gale. Kick his ass. So that and you do actually remind me of something, though.
Go on.
Oh, shoot. I had it and I lost it. Your dumb comic made me forget. Keep going. Keep going. It'll come back to me.
All right. Well, everyone is either commander or soldier. Those are your military ranks. And then they go into the capital and they've got a map. The capital is just full of these mines, but they're not mines that just explode and, kill everyone. They're mines that open up torture devices because the key is misery, right? Someone gets caught in a laser and all their skin melts off like they're from the Last Crusade and they picked the wrong cup.
See, the capital didn't need Gale. They thought up war crimes all on their own.
Yeah. They had one that's called the meat grinder. It just opens up the street and you fall into a big old grinder.
Well, it's like one of those things where it's like a war crime is shining lasers in the eyes of pilots to blind them permanently.
Yeah.
Because that's just needlessly cruel. But Gale would love that.
Yeah. It's how we beat the Capitol. We have a bomb that goes off and kills all those kids. And then second wave of bombs that kill the rescuers who come to help them.
Third wave of bombs that kills those rescuers.
We just keep getting more and more
Eventually,
bombs.
Everyone's tried to rescue everyone else, and they're all gone.
So
I did think of my point. I remembered.
Okay. And then I'll just briefly run through part 3, which is the only part where stuff happens that we haven't covered, and we'll call it a day. I guess this is a one-parter, Ben. You fucked up my schedule right out of the gate.
What were we going to talk about?
You know what? Shut up.
Okay. So my other point was you mentioned PETA's ceasefire. He's a real Benedict Arnold, like the modern day Tokyo Rose, calling for this ceasefire.
Yeah, that piece of shit traitor bitch.
Yeah. And so Jane Fonda type. That's a deep cut for the Vietnam crowd. So he's calling for a ceasefire, which isn't a surrender. That's not.
Nope, that's a surrender, Ben.
Not a crazy thing.
If we cease fire, then we go back to the way things were before the war even started.
No, a ceasefire just means we stop shooting and allow humanitarian aid and stuff like that.
And maybe we get some negotiators to talk with each other.
Yeah, we actually figure out what the hell we want. Most wars don't end in an unconditional surrender. But whatever. So PETA's calling for a ceasefire. And one of his reasons for calling for a ceasefire is the last war. I guess as far as we know, human life only exists in North America now.
Well, now, buddy, human life only exists in North America to this day.
I'm not even venturing into modern day politics. So, the one of his reasons for the ceasefire is we're running out of human beings. The last war, the Civil War, the nuclear war, whatever that set us back so far and left us with Pan Am is it reduced the human. It
means bread, Ben.
Yeah, I got that.
It means bread in Latin. And relic is killer spelled backwards, Ben. Some people might get that reference if they're listening an hour into this fucking episode. Anyway.
So anyway, his reasoning is that if we go through another war, there's only like what 1-2 million people left. Another civil war could just quite literally end the human race. Though one has to imagine there's still people like in the old world. Like
Nope.
I
Nope.
can't imagine it's only
Nope.
America.
Nope.
Probably
Only America.
Probably even people
just
in South
like
America.
it is now.
Could even be people in like Alaska.
Nope. Only America. And Alaska isn't part of that anymore.
But yeah, so he's like, we could really go extinct here. Like we could just kill everybody. And he's not wrong. Like everybody calls him a traitor and an asshole.
Deal, PETA. Let's do it. Let's kill everybody.
Everybody calls him a traitor and an asshole, and then he gets character assassinated by Tracker Jacker Venom, and but then Beatty, the only scientist, is like, I actually ran the numbers and predicted losses. He's right. We could run out of people. Like,
that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah, so I guess that's another theme.
Well, the Capitol has only come forward with one, like, we could run out of people. It's like, okay, what's your plan? How about you all just be our slaves again? I'm thinking pass.
So this is where I'm going.
No.
You've caught on to where I'm going with this. One of the themes I was thinking, so we've got wealth inequality. How do you remedy wealth inequality? Revolution. Okay, so we're gonna
give it all to me and I'll distribute it how I think it should be distributed.
We're going to have humanity's, bi-millennial wealth redistribution, plague, or other extinction event that cripples the aristocracy and forces them to pay people.
Hell yeah, America 250. Yeah. It's coming up, Ben.
So
that was in the news about how he's thinking about having another Hunger Games, but for real.
So one of the themes is revolution. You would argue it's the main theme because Katniss is the Mockingjay. This whole thing has been about Katniss inspiring people to revolt, including the people who know her personally, who are inspired by her to go on the suicide mission to attack Snow. I don't understand how anyone who knows Katniss personally is inspired by her. That's confusing.
I'm inspired to leave behind my wife and my unborn child to go on this dangerous, probable suicide mission.
To shoot Snow with a bow and arrow. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And we're going to have PETA there. And he occasionally has bouts of craziness. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I was torn a little bit here because, like, on one hand, PETA is making valid points that humanity's tendency towards war, which Shai has reliably informed me never changes.
If war doesn't change, man must change.
If war doesn't change,
Fallout
man must change. Yes. So, the war is killing us. We are going to go extinct. So presumably,
in the end, that doesn't happen.
Presumably,
we just need to bomb some children, some child shields.
There's an anti-war theme, but at the same time,
this is the first book that has a war.
Should we not have revolutioned?
Yeah, I did see a thing on Reddit that was like, it's about how pointless war is. And I'm like, I wouldn't say that war is pointless. It might be stupid.
It created more equality and ended the Hunger Games.
It ended the enslavement of 90% of your population or more. And it ended the Hunger Games, which murdered 23 children a year.
Yeah.
For the amusement of the Capitol.
Yeah, so it's like...
This war was anything but pointless. They needed to fucking go.
Yeah, the war in many cases seems overdue. The themes are muddled, I guess is my point. I guess if you've been listening for this entire hour, the themes are muddled. and they
Yeah.
don't quite come together in the end.
And not in a delicious way like in a mojito.
Yeah, it is unlike a mojito,
Agreed.
more of a macchiato. You want
Yeah.
everything on one level. You know, my ex used to always order a macchiato and then stir it. And she was such a bougie hipster who you couldn't tell her anything about coffee. And I'd given up. I'd been watching her stir caramel macchiatos for as long as I'd known her. And then one day the barista saw her stir it, and he's like, "What are you doing? Just
You
get a
just committed a crime?
just get a latte. What are you doing? The point is the layers." And she never stirred them again. She just quietly internalized. But that's patented Ben aside. So, well, do you want to rubric? Perhaps we will discover new.
You don't want to wait. Hold on. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, they had to. Their death got faked, and then they ran through the very large sewers from monsters, and then everyone except for like Gale, PETA, and a few others die, including Finnick. He's dead now.
I got sick
And
of
then they
writing that.
go. They find someone close to the president's mansion. It's like a rundown clothes shop that no one cares about anymore, and it's got a secret basement. So they hide in secret basement for a while, eating food as you do, and then they're like, there's a flood of refugees. We'll just blend in with them, and then go kill Snow. And then, surprise, the rebellion is here, and everyone's getting shot. And then they see that Snow has a bunch of child shields in his courtyard, and then they all get blown up.
Yeah.
The end. Oh, and Prim gets blown up too.
In that
The
second
end.
wave, she goes in to help the kids, and she gets blown up. Katniss runs in to help Prim, and she gets blown up. Then Gale runs in to help Katniss, and then he gets blown up. And he's like, thwarted by my own invention.
And he's like, you're never gonna think it's not me who did it. And she's like, no. Oh wait, she doesn't say anything. He's like, that's what I thought. I'll always love you.
He doesn't say that.
Wait, no, he doesn't. Because he's like, wait a minute, I'm 18, you're 17. You kind of are completely broken. I'm gonna go
to District 2, become a science guy, and move on.
Yeah. I'm gonna smash. Later, loser.
Yeah. Gale kind of. I want to hear about Gale. Okay, now would you like to rubric?
The Hunger Gale.
The Hunger Gale.
Yeah, sure, we can rubric, I guess, if that's what you want to do. All right. Let's see. How did I rate this? Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Okay. Content and ideas.
I went with a 3. Clear ideas and plot points are present, but maybe underdeveloped or unoriginal. Really hard on that underdeveloped.
I was gonna say, you paused there reading it. Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. I think I've made the case that there are a lot of interesting themes raised and never fleshed out. And again, this is the kind of thing where it's like you're raising some really tough topics, capitalism, socialism, war, peace, revolution, equality. How do we fix it? Oh, I don't know. Like yeah,
Done.
yeah.
You solve it by replacing one president with another president. When that president turns out to be crazy, you replace them too. All hail President Paylor.
Yep. She is, maybe not the leader we think we deserve, but she's the leader we need. And that's the
Goddamn
bumper
right.
sticker. I'm talking
Goddamn
about
right.
President Paylor, Shy.
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah. Shy said President Payload.
Organization.
Organization. I mean, 3.
3.
uh,
I went with the pacing was a little too slow. Yeah.
I kind of want to say 2, but it wasn't ineffective. It was just boring.
Part 1 is I'll be your Mockingjay, and we gotta save PETA, and oh my god, you bombed a hospital. Part 2 is we saved PETA, and he choked me without consent, and and
Okay.
and God, what the fuck else happened during part 2? Oh, we did the war crimes on District 2, and I got shot, and then I'm gonna train harder than I ever trained before. And then part 3 is a suicide mission where almost everyone dies and nothing is accomplished, and she shoots the president.
Yeah.
And that was like 400 some odd pages.
Yeah, it took a while to get there.
Yeah, it took a very long time.
Had to hear a lot about her mom and the cat.
Yeah.
And how they tattoo her schedule on her arm.
Oh, I was going to bring that up, but who cares?
That's, right? Like it didn't matter.
It didn't matter. Where are you getting all that ink? I don't care.
What if we just didn't? Does anybody care? What if we didn't tattoo our schedules on our arms? What if we just wrote them on a piece of paper like normal people?
Yeah. Well, we got to do the fancy sci-fi thing.
Why?
Tattooed on my arm.
Anyway, use of language.
3.
3. Yeah, it's fine.
Nothing bad, nothing good, but whatever. Personal preference, Ben. 2.
Yeah, I'm at a 2, and
I didn't like this book. I disliked it.
I can understand its appeal to others, but like not as an adult. Like I can understand it being like being a series you fall in love with as like a teenager, but I don't know, it like I said, it just doesn't ring true. It's almost universally beloved, and normally when something is almost universally beloved, I don't have this much of a different reaction to it. Like there's things I know that people like that are not for me.
Unless it's Philip K. Dick.
Well, there are things that people like that I know are not for me, and that's fine. But I don't see the appeal to others. I can only think the movie improves on it, or it hit you. This was the first book like this you'd read, and I guess I'll give it this. It's the first book that maybe many people came to that sort of was willing to like hit them with this level of like brutality and like emotional turmoil. It respects its readers in that way, but I think she goes way overboard with it. At a certain point, there's like diminishing returns on just how miserable and suicidal Katniss can be.
But how miserable and suicidal can she be?
I think at the end, she's pretty much peaked.
She's peaked. We can't get her any more miserable or suicidal without her actually doing it.
Yeah.
We did it, people.
Yeah.
Now let's fix her with some kids and call it a day.
Oof. One day we'll have to explain to our children our role in the Hunger Games. Well, I hope this isn't the book that's supposed to do that. Recommendation strength.
Ah, God.
It's almost a moot point because nobody's reading this because we recommended it to them.
Yeah, that's fair. Which is why I'm going to say a 2.
I actually went with a 3. If you like YA dystopias,
Okay, that's fair.
I suspect this is probably one of the best. I suspect.
Yeah, I guess when you put it next to the Maze Runner, and
the things that are derivative of this are probably much worse. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely something about like Katniss becoming the quote unquote special, which she really isn't. That trope evolved with some of the worse, more derivative stuff, but like, you know, it created a genre, so there's obviously something here.
All right, well, that's 50 points, Ben.
Yeah, I rounded it up to a 3 out of 5 on my Goodreads.
I rounded it down because Catching Fire also got a 2. I was like, that's about. They had different problems, but I think they're about on the same level.
Yeah, I really didn't like it. I really think
I gave the first one a wobby, Ben.
The first one was surprisingly good. I actually went in expecting not to like the first one, and I did like it. And I think that's why I am so negative in this episode, is because there's a lot of wasted potential. I think if the themes were a little less muddled, I think if Katniss came into focus a little bit more, if she had something to do with the plot, I'll tell you what I don't know is how they turned this book into 2 movies. I can't even turn it into 2 words about books episodes.
Yeah.
So maybe they do fix a lot in the movies. I don't know. But no, it just felt like a real waste of potential. I was jazzed after the first one. I really wanted to see where this series went. And it didn't go anywhere for me. I know I'm putting my hands up like don't hit me, but I did not care for the Hunger Games series, and I have no interest whatsoever in the prequels.
Yeah, no, we're not doing the prequels.
No. I could not care less about this world.
Neither could Katniss. Hey-o!
Hey-o! But you know who does care? You know who does care, Nate?
Is there our patrons?
It's our patrons, Nate. They care so much that they contribute at the Yacht Plan tier.
Goddamn right.
And they deserve to be shouted out for that, and they are. Isekai Sensei-sama of the That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster podcast. Jamie, the Gravy Man of the If You Want the Gravy blog. Did the movies fix it? I'm not going to watch them, but I will listen to you talk about them. John Bierce, actual author of The Mage Errant, The Rack, and More Gods Than Stars. Probably doesn't want to be associated with this review of a popular title in the same sort of like YA space.
Jacob Lansky.
Yeah, there you go.
Ben. Doing whatever the fuck he wants, motherfucker.
That's right. And of course, featured in this very episode, Spooky Shot with a Y, over on TikTok. Also, Words About Occult Books. We're recording. We're gonna get an episode out. Don't worry. I think that's everyone. May the odds be ever in your favor.